Okie dokie, I've got a 2006 Nissan Xterra and I need to replace the front shocks and struts because they're bad. The other side is leaking pretty bad. This one doesn't look too worn out, but you can hear it creaking every time we hit a bump, and also you can feel the tire is not very solid. So looks like this boot is also blown out on the upper control arm. And let's see, the sway bar link bushing looks okay. Let's check the bottom one. Bottom one's good. Control arm bushing is good. So for right now, we're just gonna replace the shock. Obviously, you need to take the wheel off, and then you're gonna put a 19mm wrench here with a socket on that side and loosen the bolt that holds this in right here. So there's a bolt that goes through the bottom that holds this in. You're gonna loosen that, and then we're gonna undo these 3 bolts up top here, and then we're going to completely remove this bottom bolt, and then we should just be able to remove the strut at that point. Okay, so I got the 3 nuts up top out. This one in the back, back here, I used a 1/2-inch ratchet with an adapter down to a 14mm 3/8 socket, and that just gave me a little clearance. You could probably also just use a 3/8 with a deep socket. The only thing is this little bracket right here, you're gonna have to bend forward or else your ratchet will get caught up on that. These other 2 bolts, I just used a 14mm ratcheting wrench, and I kind of went in from this little area right here. So that's how you get those off. Alright, so those 3 bolts are out. You can see the strut has dropped because I was able to get that bolt out. So I used my hammer and I used my extension. And what you're gonna have to do, the sway bar right here, it's like that, and it's blocking the bolt from coming out. So basically your sway bar link comes through, it goes through right there. It's a 17mm. You take that nut off, you take it off on the other side, you grab the sway bar, you pull it down like this, and then that allows you to remove this bolt. And then at that point, the strut will come out. And that's how you would actually go about the process of removing it. So the hardest part is getting this sway bar off, because you have to do it on both sides in order to have enough wiggle room. So what I did over here was I took this tire off. Yeah, I have no room. This garage is tiny, but we make it work. And you can see right there, that's the sway bar link, and that threaded rod would go through this hole. So you would disconnect both sides, make sure it's jacked up. Got my jack stands back there. And then you just pull it towards you, pull it down. It'll pivot because of the brackets. See? I don't need this. So pull it down. And then while you have this off, you can do this side. You can see on this side what I was talking about, where it's leaking really badly. The bushing down here is just blasted to shit. I mean, blasted to poo. And looks like, ooh, I got scared. I thought the CV axle was ripped. The CV axle boot, which it's not, but it is on the way out. You can see right there. It's starting to separate, so that'll be a fun repair. Actually doesn't look like it'll be that bad, but I'm gonna need an impact for that one. But anyways, that's pretty much this. I'm gonna do this side too while I have the car right here. But wow, you can just see that is just coated. Anyways, let's go back over here. And I'm sure the strut is gonna take some finagling. And the reason my jack was here was because I had it underneath right here on this bracket to kind of like lift and raise and lower the control arm in order to get this main bolt out that holds the strut in. So anywho, now that the strut is out, looks like it'll clear out this way. So it'll go and then lift it out. That's our old strut right there. This is what it looks like with no strut. And this is what it should look like. You've got your bolt down there tight. You've got your 3 bolts up here. Bop, bop, bop. And then this is what I was talking about with the sway bar link. This right here is the bolt that you would want to remove. And then the same thing on the other side. It's a 17. So you got to remove both of those, drop it down. But this is the other strut, so we're all set. And that is how you do front struts on an Xterra. Xterra.